Hello, welcome to The Long Road. My name is Chris Roberts. I'm your host. And we're going to do a little bit different today because we had a great Pumpkin Fest. Today's Monday, tape day, and Saturday, 2 days ago. I'll talk a little bit about the Pumpkin Fest. I will show what people like the most about the Pumpkin Fest, about a 13-minute clip of the parade. Maybe you can pick out some of the people you know, some of the children you know. And of course, you can see if you can name the costumes. And then we'll also have two other clips. One will be a short clip of the dumpster derby, the pumpkin derby, where a lot of the pumpkins were cleaned up in, we'd have to say, record time, and to show the enthusiasm going in. And then the last one is going to be maybe about 14 minutes where I went around town, especially in Ward 1, Marlborough Street, Adams Street, Willow, Court, Foster, some of the Dunbar, some of the places that were totally trashed last year. And even weeks later, you still had pumpkin fragments all over the place. So I can tell you about it, but I figured it was just best to show you what a year's difference can be. But before we go into that, we're going to today we tape on Monday, and this show will premiere or air on Wednesday. And when you're sitting here watching this show, there'll only be 13 days left before the presidential election will be decided. Well, it should be decided unless by some case it goes 272, neither one gets 270 and ends up in the House of Representatives, or you have some hanging chads in Florida or Ohio, one of those places. But we're just going to have to see. But it looks like it's going to be tight. It's going to be a lot of contested places. And we'll just have to see what it is. The Mr. Obama's organization just borrowed $15 million to help the campaign. It looks like Mr. Romney took about twice as much money in September than Mr. Obama. We were told that Karl Rove and some of the other ones are going to be dumping tens of millions of dollars into a lot of the battleground states. And like I said before, I still have a problem with people outside the New Hampshire coming in and trying to buy off our elected federal officials. Have no idea, Karl Rove will be dumping in money, the Democrats will be dumping in money. One thing I can tell you is the newspapers and the radio stations and the TV stations are loving it. They're making money. That's what they're in business for. But to give you an idea, I was going through the numbers because I just got the updated worksheet on the proposed Keene School District budget. And it stated that just on regular salaries, cost of retirement, cost of medical, bingo, we're going to go up $1.9 million or 3%. That doesn't add a single service, plain and simple, $1.9 million just to stay where we are. And that's over a 3% increase. So we're going to have to take a really hard look at that. But when I looked at the numbers that Mr. Romney and Mr. Obama are pouring into the presidential election, which basically be a little bit more than $2 billion, and I was looking at that, and basically you're talking about that would be funding the Keene School District's school budget for the next 30 to 35 years. Just think of that. The amount of money that's being dumped into the election would fund the Keene education for the next 30 to 35 years, almost up to the year 2050. And again, as we all know, we're talking about all the misinformation and quote unquote the fact checkers, who's going to check the fact checkers, because it's going back and forth and we don't know who to believe, and that's the frustrating part. I got the FP Foreign Magazine, a well-respected magazine, and they had an article in here called Liar, Liar. And it talked about A 2010 study found that when people are assigned to a powerful position, or even if they are merely put in the mindset of having power, they cheat more and think of their own transgressions as less bad. And it goes, politicians are by definition in position of power. They are elected to represent large groups of people and make important decisions for all their constituents. The problem with power is that it comes with some nasty side effects. When you put people in position of power, they very quickly assume that position and, whether intentionally or not, start to abuse it. In a 2010 study investigating the moral hypocrisy of the powerful, researchers at Northwestern University found that when people are assigned to powerful positions, or even if they are merely put in the mindset of having power, they cheat more and think of their own transgressions as less bad. At the same time, they tend to hold their underlings to a higher standard. Another byproduct of being a politician has to do with the fact that politicians make decisions that influence the well-being of others. As such, they are actually more inclined to tell half-truths or even outright lies because they believe it will ultimately serve others. And so I found this really strange, really actually depressing. It's because, as it says, politicians are actually more inclined to tell half-truths or even outright lies because they believe it will ultimately serve others. And so what they're saying is, if I'm a politician and I think it's for your betterment, it's completely all right for me to tell half-truths and even come out and lie to you face to face. And it says, when a rookie politician looks around and sees that his peers are behaving dishonestly, he determines that this behavior is acceptable and will likely follow suit. Party affiliation may also play a big role. And so if I'm a Democrat and I see senior Democrats cheating and being a little dishonest, I say out of party loyalty, that's the right thing to do because I can rationalize that it's best for everybody. So it's best for the little people, it's best for the people without power. And the Republicans do the same thing. And so the question is, we the American people have given up all our power to a small group. The question is, when are we going to take the power back? If we're not going to take the power back, we're going to get more half-truths and more lies. And I'm pretty sure if you're going to listen to Monday night's debate, you'll hear a lot of half-truths and a heck of a lot more lies. And the question is, we're willing to listen to them, and they're going to be willing to send them, tell us them. And I went to Esquire magazine. Clint Eastwood is on the cover as a result of his forcefulness. One of the quote unquote, one of the last true leaders of the United States that they're talking about. And the federal spending growth. Basically, in 2012, we spent $2.57 trillion on entitlement spending. And defense was, $1.8 trillion on entitlement, $730 billion on defense, so basically $2.6 trillion on mandatory spending, basically mandatory and defense spending. Non-defense discretionary spending was $1.153 trillion. So what this came out to was everything besides healthcare, Social Security, Medicaid, and defense. Every single one of those pennies was all deficit spending that all had to be borrowed. And that kind of brings it down to the state level. We have both Overlantine and Maggie Hassan talking about how they're going to prioritize this. We're going to come up with more money for education, back and forth. But the question is, there's not a single penny more. And so again, that's half-truths and outright lies because they're telling us everything that they're going to do for us, but there is no money, plain and simple. And so that is kind of tricky. So for the people that went to the Pumpkin Fest, beautiful weather, 70-degree weather, sunny, no rain, Papagano, the weatherman, he was completely off. It wasn't 20 degrees Friday night. It wasn't rain going into Saturday morning. And so I would have to say he made a perfect mistake. And so what I'm going to do right now is, as we get into it, is getting ready to show you the parade. The parade is the highlight of the Pumpkin Fest. I call it the second highlight of the Pumpkin Fest. My highlight of the Pumpkin Fest is each year I get to talk to Mitch Greenwald's mother-in-law, a feisty lady, and we sit down and have some good talks. And I could talk to that lady for a long time because she has so much knowledge, she had so much wisdom, and she keeps yelling at me saying I don't keep my head up enough in the show, and I should keep my face up more. So I'm going to try to keep my face up more. And so I think it's about a little bit more than 13 minutes, so I hope you enjoy the parade.
Do you see the pumpkin tower? So are not. Do you see the people walking for the parade? Oh, there they are. Good job, Bo. Where's Adam? Oh my god, I want to punch him.
Look at that car.
Oh yeah.
Look at that car. All just watching this thing is making me dizzy for no reason.
Why?
Nothing this. My brain's not doing that. I just feel dizzy for no reason. I'm a third grade.
You're in third grade now? Wow.
We have a roadblock.
Yes, we do.
Look at
I thought you were supposed to be directing traffic.
I bet it goes down to the ocean.
There's no ocean in this park. Why don't you say that to Lafayette, whatever it is you're going to have to learn?
Here.
I don't have, I can pocket this like you.
Look. Look. If I put it in my pocket, I'll eat it up.
Swell, huh?
Yeah, like this. Like this. I'll take it out of my pocket, I'll tap it, put it in my mouth, and when you look over like this. I'm not just eating my lollipop.
Were you here for the lobster meat in the pot? That's my favorite one so far.
And I was Wolverine for the last.
Really?
Yeah. But not now. I didn't have to cross my belt. I didn't have to cross my belt. Maybe if I get another lollipop, I'll say one of them is for you, Mom.
This is the most we've ever had.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing what 70-degree weather does.
I didn't bring it because that's Hi. Oh, you know what, Mama? How do you explain I couldn't bring my sweatshirt? I have a new sweatshirt.
You do?
When I put the zip up the hood, it looks like a skeleton.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
who took it off me?
Who?
My mom.
Oh no. Someone like the
If
rec
I had
has that.
on, I'll be marching in the parade like this. And this is what I would be saying. If you do not see a zipper mark right here. Okay. I would be you. Do not see a zipper. Why are you going my shirt? Amanda, this is giant spider.
Oh my god.
Giant spider. Amanda, I need to tell you, don't step on a spider.
Why? What happens?
Rain.
It rains.
Rains then.
It's Andrew.
How long it doesn't rain for? 2 days. That's how much it doesn't rain for. Then after the 2 days are over, the third day, it starts raining. So that's why you can't step on a spider.
It rains for 2 days. Not the best
It
one.
doesn't rain for 2 days. Oh, look at
Mustard and ketchup, they gotta go together,
That's what I
right?
call meme. That's what I call a hot dog. Look at
Did you get the dog?
No, I didn't get the dog. It went by too quick. Oh, I can get him now. Oh, yeah, there he is. Definitely a hot dog. Now he's going to be carried.
How much people are in the parade?
What?
How much people are in the parade?
A lot. I don't even know.
907.
How many? I believe you. Like this. This is how many. 9.
We're already 9 minutes into it.
Really?
Yeah. This guy's trying to stay awake.
That's fun. Oh, Dan, this is Ashley. Nice to meet you. He ruins my life on a daily basis. There you go.
I was right. He is Cat in the Hat.
Yep.
Bingo.
That's our song. Like that might be it. This is the best one.
Komodo.
Lobster in a pot.
Oh, the lobster in the pot. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's get a little creativity there.
Is that the Monopoly? Right here. Yes!
Yeah, it is a monopoly. No, no, that's Thomas the Train Guy.
Oh my goodness. What is it?
Mr. Toppy Hat. That's his name.
Judge me.
Oh, well, there's Waldo. There he is. You found Waldo.
Amanda, that's a Skyland.
What's that from?
Skyland.
Oh, is that a game? It's Tire!
Fire.
No, that's an awesome one. I was begging my mom to give me that. She said no. She
Zach.
said no.
Hi, Zach.
Last year is wet and cold and freezing. Now you're perspiring.
What is wrong with her?
Day. Oh, Caitlin, her friends, and Lexi and Dylan, and then Earth whenever we do, but that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, here comes Kung Fu Dragon back here. Oh, there's a good pumpkin head coming up. Right behind Captain
I
America.
think it's real.
Buzz Lightyear. Some of these guys never grow up.
Look up there.
Oh, there's a person up there.
Let the parade continue all the way through Constance Alpha. At the very end,
So we just have to walk down to Emerald Street, and then I can beat it. I can't believe Adam's Trent!
Yes, that's it, Leon.
I like the truck pad.
I think it needs a second pill.
Amanda, this will be weird. I made 4 pumpkin carnival. Come on.
Bye, Liam. Go backwards. Everyone.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. The gentleman, that tall individual with that pumpkin on his head, that was a real pumpkin. Took a lot of time to carve it. Andy Bohannon and his staff from the Keene Park and Rec, they did a great job organizing and keeping that parade moving the best they could. Again, great job, fun by everybody. Again, that has to be one of the biggest parades that I've seen by far in the Keene Pumpkin Fest. Again, warm weather does wonders. You may have saw some young gentlemen there with teak on. They helped, they did a great job. They kept emptying the trash and trying to keep trash from all over the street. They spent hours going from dump to dump, trash can to trash can, replacing it and throwing it in the dumpster. And so, also, the next 2 clips, the dumpster dump and the cleanup, they're going to be boring. They're going to be raw footage. There'll be some places will be out of focus. Some will be jumping. But what happens when you had a number of teams, 12 teams that came in to take part in the dumpster dump, and there was a $1,000 prize for their favorite charity. There were some glitches. This was the first time it happened. We didn't have enough dumpsters. The dumpsters that were on the left side, bingo, were cleaned up just like that. We had, like I said earlier, one crew, the two crews that cleaned up the whole area in 24 minutes. And again, where there weren't dumpsters, and we had some problems with a few of the hooligans. But this year, I have to admit, not to admit, but I'm proud to say that the kids from Keene State College, they did a hell of a job. They took pride in the city, and a lot of them who didn't even sign up to take part in the dumpster dump said, hey, can I help? Can I help? And of course, not to go in and say, nope, you can't. It's like, hey, if you want to help, it's greatly appreciated. And some say, okay, I can throw 5 in, I can throw 10 in. And I said, you know what, for every 5 or 10 in, that's 5 or 10 we don't have to worry about going on the street. And so, again, basically, we need to do a shout out to all the participants that were took part in the dumpster dump. Again, a number of fraternities that came, and I can't pronounce the fraternities. Actually, I can't even remember all the Greek letters. But again, they did a great job. Ruth Sterling had a good idea with this. It helped it tremendously, but it was the first time. There's lessons learned, and next year, there's no doubt in my mind that it will be run more efficiently. And when you go and look at it, last year, the first Let It Shine Festival, there were 16,186 pumpkins. This year, there was 29,300 and something jack-o'-lanterns. And so there's a difference between jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins. And the 29,000 were the ones that were actually lit. So in the past, all these pumpkins, that's the total number of pumpkins. That's not the total number of lit pumpkins. So there's no doubt in my mind there was at least 30 to 31,000, maybe a few more pumpkins. So basically, there's a good possibility, combination with the weather, a whole bunch of things, that the second Let It Shine festival, or the 2012 Keene Pumpkin Festival for us old timers, basically doubled up in size, improved by 100%. And so, again, a great job to everybody. Got a little bit, they're cleaning up today, moving the barriers, got a little bit more cleanup. They'll probably be picking up some of it tonight when there's less traffic, so they don't inconvenience people. But again, a great job. Mother Nature was perfect. I've got about 1,200, 1,300 photos. I'm going to try to put a clip together so we can show it for Halloween, and put some nice scary music to it. But otherwise, it was a great pumpkin fest. Over at I've got some footage of the farmer's market. This was the first time the farmer's market was in the pumpkin fest. It looked like a roaring success. I was there in the morning while took footage of people setting it up, because it was like someone had kicked over an anthill. The people just came in, setting up all in their spots, move, getting ready for the people showing up at 10:30 in the morning to sell their wares and be able to raise money for the local charities. At 8:15 at night, the lines were still long. Couldn't get my kettle corn this year, but plain and simple, it looked like all the vendors made money. The Ferris wheel, I think the Ferris wheel was a hit. They one seat broke, and so with the Ferris wheel you have to counterbalance, so you had to take an opposite seat out, 180-degree seat out. So that slowed down, and that cost a few people the opportunity to get a ride on the Ferris wheel. The show that was put down on Athens Pizza, great job. Everybody, a lot of people loved it. I would have to say the vast majority, at least 95, 98% of the people loved it. And again, all the people, the adults and stuff that came in costume. The one Mr. and Mrs. German Shepherd, great costume. The businesses that got involved, CNS who donated 15,000 pumpkins. This year there was a lot of businesses. Luca, plain and simple, Luca went overboard. Ted with Ted Shoes went overboard. I've got footage of the race, and I'm going to put a bunch of this footage together so later on in the year we'll have a whole hour of Pumpkin Fest activities and put in photos and stuff. But I just think, again, it was it was great, and I think Ruth Sterling and all the sponsors and all the volunteers, I think they did more than enough to deserve another year. And I'm looking forward to the third Let It Shine Pumpkin Festival next year, and hopefully Mother Nature will grace us. October 31st, Halloween night, Keene and Harwood will be on HGTV, the Pumpkin Wars. We haven't been told who won yet. And again, it isn't the total number of pumpkins that determines the winner. It's the total number of lit jack-o'-lanterns. And so then you had to have a lit jack-o'-lantern. It had to be carved. It had to show effort. It had to be recognizable. You couldn't paint it. It couldn't be dark. You just couldn't put all stuff in because while that's pumpkin art, it's not a jack-o'-lantern and it wasn't lit. And again, Harwood is 10 minutes outside of Chicago, and they have a 3-day fest. And so I don't know what their number was, the exact time Guinness said they had to be count. So pumpkins that may have came after, they wouldn't count. There was just that 1 hour block, that one block, and then at 5 minutes they had to count them. That's the only time that counts. And so again, we won't know until October 31st. And so again, I would recommend watching HGTV on the Pumpkin Wars with Keene and Harwood. And so what I'm going to end now, and I'm going to see you out there on the long road. I will be here next week with Andy Bohannon and Megan, and we're going to talk about all the upcoming events that are going to be hosted by Keene's Park and Recreation. So again, it's rough footage, and if you want it for your own edification, enjoy it. If not, I just wanted to be able to give it out there so people know the great job a lot of people did cleaning up our city and making sure our city looked good. So again, have a good time, and make sure you get ready to vote, and make sure you show up and vote on November 6th. Have a good day.
You get a pen and paper, you can write it down. It's 9. Gilmore for that team to do this.
Coming out on mine. It's too dark.
Oh, I have a night vision one.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I should see if I could have set it.
Yeah, you can probably set it for a night.
You throw it up, I'll hit that one.
They used to pay to have fun like this.
This is the best part of the night.
Yeah. Up, the arms are starting to get heavy as a
Watch one girl try to pick up a rotted one. She's like, oh, that's gross.
That was close one, man. I feel like a little bit.
champion's team for the pumpkin jump derby. Just a reminder that not only the pumpkin need to go to the dumpster, but everything around the dumpster needs to be cleaned up. That's all part of the contest. Again, all droppings on the side of the dumpster need to be also put into the dumpster before you empty it.
Ashley, take this.
You know what the secret is? Have one of the guys stay here and hand all the big pumpkins to the guy.
For a strong person.
Yeah, watch. Someone who's strong and tall. They're going to get heavier.
Oh my God! Look at her! You are a princess! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hey, extend to toward the edge. Okay. Amy, is the other one clear? I'll check. Thank you. Okay, go to that one we were at first, Danny. Yeah, right?
What's that? Nah, I don't need the hat. Grove Street, day after Pumpkin Fest 2012. Willow Street. Right now, both of these roads are cleaner than they are on a normal day. Bank of Walpole parking lot. Bank of Wall parking lot, really clean, no beer bottles, no trash. Students from Keene State College are out there making the morning pickup runs, cleans it up. Bagged pumpkins, bagged beer cans, beer bottles, all kinds of trash, pizza boxes, picked up and bagged and ready to go. They had a good time and they cleaned up after themselves. Marlborough Street, the morning after the Pumpkin Fest. Completely clean. Do not see any pumpkin residue at all. Both sides. It'd be hard to convince anybody that there was a pumpkin fest with over 30,000 pumpkins in Keene yesterday.
That's good.
Adams Street. Again, night and day compared to last year. The only thing on the street, on Adams Street, is leaves. Again, cleaned up. This was a scene of some heavy drinking Friday and Saturday. As you can see, you honk, we drink. There's a lot of honking, but they were up this morning and they cleaned up everything. We don't live in a perfect world. We do have some pumpkin residue on the ground. That's one. So there's the first pumpkin, smashed pumpkin I've seen so far on the ground. Foster Street, home of some heavy partying Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Again, Foster Street, completely devoid of pumpkins. There's one pumpkin, but that's on private property. Awful lot of cars here on Foster Street. They have the red silo cups. Some smashed pumpkins right here as we get down closer towards the edge of Foster Street. Well, this is the dirtiest place I've seen. Again, a lot of cars packed here. East 3 house block. But all the damage, all the trash is on private property. This is one the landlord should be held accountable for cleaning up. There's no doubt in my mind, there's an awful lot of moms and dads that are really happy that this is where their kids are spending their college loans on. Again, clear of pumpkins, clear of trash. Got a group of party goers picking up their trash, cleaning their trash up. Good neighbors, good citizens. You party, you clean. You know what? That's what's being a good neighbor. The house on corner of Foster and Jennison. It's a pigsty. Looks like they just sat out here all day and drank. This is private property, none on the street. Same way at the end of the road of Foster Street on the way to Kingsbury. They should be up cleaning up sometime today. If anything, state of New Hampshire made a lot of money. And you know these people are kind of wasted. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unopened cans of beer. But at least they're not out driving. And as I look around, and I look at a lot of stickers on the cars. The vast majority of the people here on Forster Street with this crappy area have Keene State College stickers or decals or parking stickers. Again, Willow Street, extremely clean, cleaner than a normal Saturday or Sunday morning. Water Street, again, no comparison to 2011. Again, here it is, Sunday morning. The only thing on the road are fallen leaves and cars. Again, it'd be hard pressed to convince anybody that thousands of pumpkins went up the street over Friday night and Saturday to the drop-off point. Even this house on Water Street, known for a party house, beer cans all over the place on Saturday, Sunday morning. We got up early, picked up and bagged their trash. Yeah, they picked up the trash this year. Normally on Saturday and Sunday it's a pigsty, but someone got up and picked all those beer bottles and beer cans up. So, Water Street is not completely devoid of pumpkins. I've seen maybe 5 or 6 smashed pumpkins, or broken pumpkins. I don't know if they're purposely smashed or dropped, but they're here. Pumpkins swept up and ready to be picked up. Down Lower Main Street by the church. And when you look at them, a lot of them are pumpkin tops, dropped pumpkins. Sometimes when you pick them up, they fall apart. So again, they're pumpkin tops. No, it's not very good with all the traffic, but downtown Keene. Yep. Have bits and pieces of pumpkins. You can't help that right off the bat. So when you have 31,000 pumpkins, and basically right now we're only about 14 hours after the official close of the Pumpkin Fest. Unbelievably clean, but even compared to last year. The people worked late. I worked until about 2 a.m. Other people worked longer. They did a good job, and they'll continue to clean up today. Nowhere near, like I said, it's worth repeating, nowhere near last year's disaster. We're on Dunbar Street, and Dunbar Street was a total disaster last year. Again, really clean. Again, Cumberland Farms opened up for gas, complete business. Their area is pretty well cleaned up. Their biggest problem on the ground is these leaves and some leftover water. But again, Dunbar Street, nowhere near comparing it to last year. Some pumpkin fragments, but no big deal. Railroad Square, morning after the Pumpkin Fest. Need to thank the people from Locale. They did a great job of cleaning up. They helped last night. Again, if you ever looked at this place at 12 o'clock in the morning, thousands of pumpkins, milk crates, crap, wood, you name it. All this done in about 7 to 8 hours. I know these people were dragging when they finished. Railroad Street last night. Must have been 100, 150 broken pumpkins as some of the gangs or masses of college males went down and started smashing at the end of the road. But it's all cleaned up. If there was anything, a critical thing that needs to be fixed next year, was the lack of dumpsters. We cleaned up one portion from Railroad Street all the way up to Central Square. That was done in less than 24 minutes, but we ran out of dumpsters. We only had 4 dumpsters. What saved us, believe it or not, was something as simple as 2 grocery carts and 2 wheelbarrows. That was able to help a lot of us get these pumpkins in as quick as possible. So next year for the dumpster derby, you need to have, I can't use shopping carts, but you need to have either wheelbarrows or wagons so you can put the pumpkins in and tow them and just have an individual throw them into the bins. There's a lot of pumpkins there, a lot of trash.